Alright, thanks for putting a few more songs for it.
He took my advice.
Give it up for Maureen Johnson, please.
Last night, I lost that very event, and I was slapped. And John gave me the wussiest slap of all time, and I was like, "Are you serious?" And so I foolishly gave him advice on how to slap him. So that one was much better. What am I doing? All right, I'll punch you in the face and then you play some songs. That's how this goes. Since John was a little bit ago talking about the Fault in Our Stars, I want to play a song about the Fault in Our Stars, which I don't know if it's on any of my albums or has ever been released anywhere, so you may have never heard it before. But it's from the perspective of a teenage girl, so just imagine. It's the only song I ever wrote the chord progression before I wrote the words, because I was doing this one day and I was like, this is nice. And then John wrote a really beautiful book, and so I was like, okay, fine, I'll use it. I might as well forget how my song started. We all can dream of blazing glories, but all I dream of now is you and your blue eyes. It's strange to think how we can feel we don't live our own lives. I wasn't sure about my own, but now I'm feeling fine. Your video game books, they might give me funny looks, but Staff Sergeant Max Mayhem gets me high. And I'm starting to see not just what you want from me, but what you want to get from what you got. Gonna be. You think you leave some kind of lasting mark? Well, with infinite tomorrows, and no, this isn't fair. No one gets remembered, but right now I just don't care. Your video game books might give me funny looks, but Staff Sergeant Max Mayhem gets me high. And I'm starting to see not just what you want from me, but what you want to get from what you got. There's not a lot of amputee heroes in history. Our lives were so much simpler, and I hope you get to have your moment in the fight, but no one ever gets to be quite who they want to be. You want it to matter, boy, well, you matter to me. Your video game books, they might give me funny looks, but Staff Sergeant Max Mayhem gets me high. And I'm starting to see not just what you want from me, but what you want to get from what you got. There's not a lot of amputee heroes in history, but I got one sitting right in front of me. It's weird to sing songs like that, because I'm used to singing songs like this. This song is fairly recent, and it's really hard to sing. In fact, when I recorded it in 55 takes, but today I'm just going to do one, so we'll see how that goes. This is about how awesome the universe is, and also weird. Well, a quark never exists by itself in isolation. Something very odd happens when you try to separate them. The energy it takes to break up those two best friends is just enough to create two more to join back up with them. And a photon has no mass, and thus it travels at light speed. If you can imagine going that fast, and if you try, I think you might be being emitted and absorbed both in the exact same instant, even if you travel from a place 13 billion light years distant. 'Cause the universe is weird, I'm kind of freaking out. What the heck is this all about? Infinite unbounded sets and hadronizing gluon jets, and we'll never understand half of what we have in hand. At least that's what I fear. 'Cause the universe is weird. Well, an electron has a strong charge as strong as a proton and a tiny mass, but not non-existent like the photon. And you might want to take your feet now, this might blow your mind. It has a massive charge, but not apparently a size. And there's a lot of stuff all around you right now. Your chair, your friend, your planet, and your sister's mother's cow, and all that mundane mass and energy is all we know and understand, but it's only 4% of what the universe has at hand. 'Cause the universe is weird, I'm kind of freaking out. What the heck is this all about? Infinite unbounded sets and hadronizing gluon jets, and we'll never understand half of what we have at hand. At least that's what I fear. 'Cause the universe is weird. Well, I was driving in a van with my brother and I said, "Hey John, guess what? Like, dude, no edge, because the universe doesn't exist in any way we can conceive it. No center, no edge, no none of that, whether or not you can believe it." And once upon a time, in a gaseous liquid stew, a molecule was like, "Hey, I turned me into you." This may be the biggest mystery of all the ones in which we dwell, how the universe created a tool with which to know itself. 'Cause the universe is weird, I'm kind of freaking out. What the heck is this all about? Infinite unbounded sets and hadronizing gluon jets, and we'll never understand half of what we have at hand. At least that's what I fear. 'Cause the universe is weird. Oh yeah, oh it's so weird. It's so freaking weird. Yeah, the universe is weird. It's kinda freaking me out. It's freaking me out. It's so weird. Why is the universe? Is the universe so weird? The universe is weird.
This song isn't a song, it's just a sort of a commentary on the songs. One of the great joys of being able to play guitar manageably well is you can just go online and play songs that you like. Just look up the chords on chord websites and sit there in your chair and sing. I love that. And I noticed that a lot of the songs that I like have this same chord progression, which is called the 50s progression. It's, C, A minor, G, D, or F, G. F, G, C, C, A minor, F, G. And it's called the 50s progression because it was popular in the 50s with songs like, "Oh Donna, and why must I be a teenager in love?" But I like the alternate name of it a lot, called the Ice Cream Changes, because it didn't just happen in the 50s, it's been popular before then and after then. So I like the Ice Cream Changes. It's also just sort of a wonderful name for this, because it feels right, because it's like smooth like ice cream, and everybody likes it like ice cream, except for lactose intolerant people. But I don't care about you. But it was popular after the 50s on into the 60s with songs like Duke, 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 Duke of Earl, Duke, Duke, Duke of Earl, Duke, Duke, Duke of Earl. I did it. And I'd like to be under the sea in the multiples garden in the shade. And then on in the 70s, there's one of my favorite songs. It's actually it's designed to sound like it's from the 50s. I remember when rock was young, me and Susie had so much fun, holding the hands and skimming stones. I had an old gold Chevy and a place of my own. And then on to the 80s, it's a little bit different and creepier. Every breath you take, every move you make, every bond you break, every step you take, I'll be watching you. And then in the 90s, it was changed even more. A band that I loved a lot when I was in the 90s age. I'm not going to talk about how old I was then. But it went from 2 or 4 beats for chord change to 1. So yeah, that's fun, right? She has a girlfriend now.
She has a girlfriend now. She has a girlfriend now. She says, guys don't do no more for me. And no one is immune. I like this chord progression, so I use it. You don't love me cause I'm not Edward Cullen. I can wear sparkly makeup and act all brave and sullen. And I don't have a favorite pony cause I've never seen that show. And I don't have a favorite pony cause I'm 31 years old. And also, I mean, the songs that we've heard so far, pretty happy songs, but it's not all happy songs with the ice cream changes. You may recognize this one. I'm the son of Reginald, the Jesus of Suburbia, the Bible of none of the above, on a steady diet of. And also Slipknot, which you wouldn't expect. I did my time. So seriously, it doesn't come. It's all about the right. The representing, the sickening, packaging subversion, pseudo-sacrosanct perversion. But it's usually happy songs. Justin Bieber, our old friend, brought it back recently. It's the happiness. Like baby, 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 oh! Baby, 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 oh yeah, baby, 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 oh. Baby, 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 yeah. I thought you'd always be mine. It's hard to go to Justin Bieber after singing Slipknot. Who would have thought? But then in 2011, hold on, I have to adjust my glasses. There we go. Then in 2011, sorry, the biggest song of the year, really, in 2011, depending on your definition of year, and also your definition of song. We're gonna do this, Hank. 7 a.m. wake up in the morning, getting dressed, getting up downstairs. Gotta walk in a half year old thing is I'm a time is rushing, getting on, I'm rushing, getting my butt down through the bus stop, and I see my friends, yes, I see